discussion was not to discuss any one individual. We did not do that. The purpose of the discussion was to know exactly how we were going to handle it, so we're all on the same page as to how we wanted to proceed, procedural issues, not anything else. And after some deliberation, what we're going to do is start at the end of the table and nominate the number one candidate and go forward from there. Now, along with that, the one thing, doing this in this type of an agenda, and I'm not necessarily going to make name or and try to embarrass at all Mr. Plotnick. He's been away for a period of time. He did not know this was going to happen when he went away. That because of his absence, we had very little time period to do this when we came back. So there's some things that we need to say to people who apply for the job who may be nominated. And that's the one issue is what we're not going to do is we're not going to nominate anybody we really don't know that doesn't have a background here with us without a background check. So anybody who would be a new candidate here who came out of the top position would have to have a background check and would be contingent upon that background check for the position. I'm sure you can probably understand that. We have a lot of people here who have never been on board before, who may interview very well, but don't have a background to show, I'm not going to say their commitment to Warrington because they wouldn't be committed, they wouldn't be here, but to give us a background to go by. In other words, another type of resume. So we agreed to start with Mr. Plotnick, since that's the way we've been going all night, and Mr. Plotnick will nominate his number one person.
Okay. And this, I just want to tell everybody that we all did you might say arbitrary, but we measured people on different parts of their character, their backgrounds, their performance, their seeing what's going on in the township, different things like that. And we gave them a weight. And then we just did that for every candidate without regard to anything, and then we came up with a number. So my highest number, my highest rating candidate is FG. That's Fred Gaines. That's my number one rating.
Your motion?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion, I nominate Fred Gaines for position of supervisor.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have to go by roll call. Okay. Mr. Plotnick.
Aye.
Mary Ann?
No.
Pardon?
No.
And I'm no. Okay, so that puts us 2-2 split, which the motion failed. Okay, Mr. Lamont.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Shirley Yank to the position.
I second that motion.
Okay, roll call vote. Mr. Plotnick.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Lamont. Mary Ann?
No.
And I'm no, so that's 2-2. Motion failed. Mary Ann?
I based a lot on the same criteria, and I also, from a personal perspective, because of being so new, I do feel that the learning curve is steep, despite what some people might think that it isn't. And I do think that for a short term, we do need someone that can hit the ground running. And so for that reason, I believe Jerry Anderson, given his past experience, his experience with the county, would be a huge benefit to the township residents as well as the board. So I make a motion for Harold Anderson.
And I'll second that. Mr. Plotnick?
Nay.
Mr. Lamont?
No.
Mary Ann?
Aye.
And I'm no. That's 2-2. Motion failed. Now, Mr. Anderson was also my nominee, number one. I guess the problem I have with some of these is people interview very well but don't have a track record. And I have to echo what Mary Ann Achenbach has said. I don't think there's anybody here that has any more experience in leadership in Luther Township than Mr. Anderson. And for that reason, I don't feel a need to make any further nominations, I guess. Those are the highest ranking ones, and those, the ones that were already nominated were also my top 4. So I guess we're somewhere on the same page.
Well, my next one is JM, whoever JM is. John Miguel.
Okay. Well, I have a bunch of them that are pretty close too, but I don't really see how we're going to move further. So I guess at this point in time, I have to declare an impasse and ask the vacancy board chairman to convene the meeting on next Tuesday. Unless anybody has any objections. But I really would like to say, I think there's some very good resumes here. People interviewed very well. And in no way would I like to discourage some of these people from participating and getting a track record of some other boards. I think that some of these people have very, very good resumes. And the only thing that's lacking is the lack of knowledge of the government of Warrenton Township. And the only way you really pick that up is being on a board and working through the government regulations and all, and working up to position. That's how most of us got here to start with. As Mary Ann said, this is a very steep learning curve. A lot of times people come to meetings and think that we're just going by our own personal feelings, and that's not the case at all. You have to understand Pennsylvania state law, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. The regulations that govern us are really very strict. And it's very important to have that learning curve in order to be able not to just vote with somebody else because they did, but to understand why and how you're voting and whether you comply with the rules and regulations of government. And it takes a while to understand that. And I'm learning more all the time. I've been involved in township government for 54 years at different levels. So it's a constant learning curve. But I know there's a lot here that I would really like to see continue on and to get on some board. And I don't see any reason why you couldn't be sitting up here in a reasonable amount of time. And I would like to see that happen. Because I know I'm in my last term here, so there's going to be an opening position there for sure. So there's going to have to be somebody who learns and comes up through the ranks to take some of these positions and lead Warrenton Township in the right direction. With that said, meeting adjourned.